NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit when other lenders say no. Apply in minutes and get a decision as soon as the same day. Loans offered by NetCredit or lending partner banks and serviced by NetCredit. Application subject to review and approval. Learn more at netcredit.com/partner. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Say goodbye to your credit card rewards. Greedy corporate mega stores, led by Walmart and Target, are pushing for a law in Congress to take away your hard-earned cash back and travel points to line their pockets. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill would enact harmful credit card routing mandates that would end credit card rewards as we know it. If you love your credit card rewards, tell your lawmakers, hands off my rewards. Tell them to oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill.
Welcome to California in Focus. I'm David Mastio. Today we're talking about crime in LA. Joining me is the Center Square's California reporter, Kenneth Schrupp. So what's going on, Kenneth?
Hey, David. Robberies and homicides in Los Angeles are rising like crazy. At the same time, LA District Attorney George Gascon has a 15,000 unfiled case backlog, which has led to concerns that unprosecuted criminals in the county, which has been zero bail since last year, are able to stay on the streets and keep committing new crimes without really facing any consequences.
So how did we get into this situation? I understand that there were really 3 strikes against the people of LA in terms of crime. First came a judge's decision. What was that?
Yeah, last October, LA County had to adopt a court-ordered zero bail policy for most crimes, which means pretty much every criminal will just get a notice to appear in court and be back on the streets, either at the location of arrest or let out right after being brought back to jail. The move was widely opposed by local law enforcement, including LA County Sheriff and other elected officials, for threatening public safety, because there's no unified data system in LA. So if you commit a crime in one jurisdiction where otherwise they would have probably held you if you're arrested for that crime again, so long as you go to another jurisdiction, remember LA County has something like 50 different law enforcement jurisdictions. If you go to another jurisdiction, commit the same crime, they won't know what you did, so they're not going to stop and hold you again, and you can just shuffle your way around to the whole system without ever really having to stay in jail. So
the second problem for LA is a state law changed through a proposition. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. In 2014, California voters passed what was called the, I believe, Safer Communities and Neighborhoods Initiative. And what it did was decriminalize most drug and theft-related offenses. In terms of theft-related offenses, it made all theft under $950 a misdemeanor, which it already was. I mean, the grand theft limit, I believe, was $400, and it got raised to $950. But the important part was that it would not be a felony in sort of any circumstance. I think that the penalty for repeat offenders was taken out. So you ended up with a situation where you can go in and commit serial theft. Remember that it's for resale value of $950 or less. So you can actually go steal more than $950 of goods and only get slapped with the misdemeanor charge. Remember, of course, that prosecutors are completely overwhelmed with rising violent crime. Is a prosecutor really going to take their time to go after some small misdemeanor that this person probably won't even go to prison for? No, not really. So that's what we ended up seeing here. There's even one incident in San Bernardino where a man was caught shoplifting with a calculator to make sure that he wouldn't go over $950. There are people who are really learning how to optimize their crime.
So the third element of rising crime in LA is a new prosecutor, Gascon, came in.
That's right. George Gascon was formerly district attorney for San Francisco from, I believe, 2011 to 2019, where he is credited with turning around the city's criminal policies. By turning around, I mean for the worse. San Francisco elected his successor in 2020 when he left to become district attorney for Los Angeles. And voters got so mad that they recalled Chesa Boudin, his handpicked successor, and now have a district attorney who prosecutes crimes. In Los Angeles, Gascon issued a do not prosecute directive for about over 10 crimes, including criminal threats, loitering to commit prostitution, drinking in public, public intoxication, trespass, driving without a license or driving with a suspended license. He also ordered his office not to prosecute people under 18 for misdemeanors, which means, again, if you think of Prop 47, this means that if you're under 18, you will be able to steal as much as you want under $900 in resale value without Gascon prosecuting you. This creates an incentive for people under 18 to just shoplift as much as they want.
And you wrote a story this week about a pretty good example of just how far the lawlessness in Los Angeles has gone. There's a bridge called the Bridge of Light that has no light. Is that right?
Yes. We just spent $600 million on this new bridge across this river connecting LA's Arts District with the East Side. It has been dark for months and requires about $2.5 million in repairs because copper thieves have stolen about 7 miles of copper wire on the bridge. That was only worth $11,000 on the black market, but as I said, it will require at least $2.5 million in repairs to fix this damage. So they're just leaving it dark. This 6th Street Viaduct was opened in 2022, was mocked first for this actually being too bright and having too much light, and then for this bike lane that it had that was described as built for a car crash, and then has now been the subject of these so-called street takeovers where hundreds of people gather, they block off the bridge, shoot off fireworks, drift cars in circles. There's even an incident where a man was giving haircuts in the middle of the bridge, like on the bridge's surface. We're not sure why he was doing that. And now it's famous for no longer being the ribbon of light, but a bridge of darkness representing the chaos of our city.
Kenneth, thanks for joining us today. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit when other lenders say no. Apply in minutes and get a decision as soon as the same day. Loans offered by NetCredit or lending partner banks and serviced by NetCredit. Application subject to review and approval. Learn more at netcredit.com/partners. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Say goodbye to your credit card rewards. Greedy corporate mega stores, led by Walmart and Target, are pushing for a law in Congress to take away your hard-earned cash back and travel points to line their pockets. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill would enact harmful credit card routing mandates that would end credit card rewards as we know it. If you love your credit card rewards, tell your lawmakers, hands off my rewards. Tell them to oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill.